Well, good evening, everyone. Matt over here at SFREP in Charlotte, North Carolina. So happy that you could join us today. I know it's sometimes it can, to make time for something like this. Thank you for taking time out of your day to do this, especially your time in the evenings if you're on the East Coast, and for those of you in the West Coast, thank you for taking a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule at the end of your workday. A couple of things before we get started here. I want to make sure that if you've never done one of these on YouTube before, or if you're not very familiar with YouTube, when you're watching the video, along the bottom, there will be a little bar there, and you'll have a couple of icons. This is if you're on the desktop version of YouTube. If you're on a mobile device like an iPad or something like that, it's going to be a little bit different. But if you mouse over the video on the bottom, there'll be an elongated rectangle icon. If you click on that, it'll put YouTube into theater mode. You'll be able to see more of the screen if you do that. That might help you in being able to see everything a little bit better. And then there will be a little bracket icon. If you click on that, it will make everything go full screen. Now, that'll allow you to be able to see things a lot better, but you will lose the chat. And I definitely want you guys to use the chat. So if you're signed in on YouTube, on the right-hand side or down at the bottom, you should have a chat window. Feel free to ask any questions using that chat. Now, if you're not signed into YouTube, or if you're watching this video after the fact, you can send me an email and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. training@sfrep.com is the email. You can also use matt@sfrep.com, M-A-T-T. They both go to the same place. And then if you have any questions on pricing or anything like that, you can contact our sales office. That's sales@sfrep.com. So we got a good turnout. Thanks so much for you guys for showing up and when we're going to be showing everything off. Now, this webinar is going to be aimed squarely at those of you who may have come to the AXE show in San Antonio and you weren't able to swing by and see our demo presentation that we did after a la mode in the dining room. And the problem was that they were not showing their new UAD stuff. And they told everybody in the dining room they weren't going to do that. And about 2/3 of the people left, and we were going after them. So a lot of people did hang around to see our presentation, but a lot of them left. Now, at that show, ACI, Bradford, us, a la mode, and Freedom Appraise all showed or all gave a demo. The only two companies that showed what we had was us and ACI. Now, the other software vendors, a lot of them are going to be doing a web-based interface. It's going to be a separate program, and it's not going to be part of their core product. That's where we're different at SFREP. We rewrote our software right before the pandemic, rewrote it from the ground up. It's called Appraise-It Pro. And because we are on a very modern development environment that we're programming all of our software in, we were able to take the new UAD dynamic forms, the UAD 3.6 dynamic forms, and build it into Appraise-It Pro, build it into our core product. Now, that's going to have two really key advantages for those of you who want to maybe use Appraise-It Pro. The first key advantage is all of your other forms, your UAD, current UAD 2.6, all of those other forms for non-lending purposes, the various forms for various, this, that, and the other. All of that is going to still be available in the same program. You're not going to have to move from one program to another to be able to use those forms. Because remember, starting in September, lenders and AMCs are going to be they're going to start issuing. The only one that I know for sure that's going to do it is Rocket Mortgage, but there's a couple of others that are going to do it too. They're going to start either giving you the option to start doing the new UAD, or they'll just start issuing new UAD forms and asking that you go ahead and fill them out. Now, there's going to be that transition time for, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 months, maybe up to a year, where they're going to be doing both. So it'll be great if you're using SFREP's Appraise-It Pro, because you'll be able to go back and forth seamlessly between the two types of reports. The other big advantage you're going to have is the way that we're implementing the new UAD 3.6 dynamic forms. A lot of the other software vendors are doing what's called a wizard interface. So you basically, they're going to present it to you as you're going to fill out a little bit of information, click next, fill out some more information, click next, some more information, click next. Kind of like they call it the TurboTax method. And the way we're going to be doing it, and so I'm going to show you here in a minute, the way we're doing it is you're going to be filling out a representation of that final form. So in case you didn't know, a MISMO XML file, whether it's the current MISMO XML or the new UAD 3.6 MISMO XML, contains both the PDF, which is kind of a human readable format, a human readable version of the form, and it includes the XML data, which is what the computer reads. What we're going to be presenting to you is essentially a representation of the form as it would look as someone was reading the PDF. And that's the way that you're filling out the reports now, and they've probably been doing it for decades, depending on how long you've been doing this. So we're going to keep that same paradigm. You're not going to have to relearn a way to do anything or disrupt your workflow. You're going to be doing it roughly in the same way. There's going to be fields. You'll fill out those fields and keep moving along. Now, because that's a dynamic form, there's going to be some cool little tricks that are going to happen to allow you to do this. And I'll show those to you here in a couple of minutes. All right. So the first thing I do want to show you, and I'm going to switch over to my screen here. Now, this is Appraise-It Pro. Now, this is the Appraise-It Pro that if you are an SFREP customer, you've been using for quite a while. Looks the same. Everything's pretty much the same. When you start the program, you're here in this welcome area. And this is, we put information here to kind of keep you updated on things so that we don't have to email you or we don't have to, call you or, send blasts out or whatever. We just put it here in the program, and there's no images or GIFs or anything like that or videos that play. It's just some information for you. We don't do it too often. We last updated it back in February. If I go to new here, this is where I'm going to pick the type of form that I want to fill out. And you'll notice got a lot of different forms in here. Got old legacy forms from the, pre-2005 days. We have specific forms for Wells Fargo, Bank of America, LandSafe, non-lending forms, etc. And if I wanted to open up the blank, let's just do a blank 1004 report, current report. Oh, am I not? You know what? I've been messing around with this. Hold on for just a second, because I think I'm going to have to fix this really quick. Let's see. Oh, no. I'll do this one. There we go. All right. So now if I open up the 1004 here, sorry about that. I do a lot of testing and monkeying around with stuff. So I had to make sure I wasn't registered and I had to re-register it. So here's the current the current UR. It's the current current UAD 1004 here. So this is what our current customers are filling out. Now I can come over here. I'm going to close this, and in the same program, I'm going to come back over here to new, and I can come down here to here's frequently used UAD 3.6, UAD 2.6. I'm going to come over here to UAD 3.6. Now some of these are test. You can see dynamic form test. That's going to go away. This is a test version of Appraise-It Pro, but this is what we're interested in right here, the UAD Uniform Residential Appraisal Report. So if I double click this to open it up, there we go. This is the new UAD. In my opinion, at least from what I saw at the ACT show in San Antonio 2 weeks ago, we are further along than most of the other software vendors. ACI is pretty far along as well, but we're certainly further along than Bradford Software is, and we're further along than Alamode is. And we're willing to show you exactly what we have. So that's what you're seeing right here. This is the new UAD. Now, of course, it's not done. It's not ready for prime time, but it is currently in internal testing, and we will begin beta testing it this summer. And then by September, we will deploy it to all customers. Well, May deploy it. We'll deploy it to anyone who wants it. We may do a staggered rollout where customers need to request to be part of it. We may give it to everybody. Not sure on how that's going to go yet. But if somebody wants to use it, you are more than welcome to use it. And you'll see there are just fields here. And you can start filling out the fields. You can check boxes. And I don't know if you caught that, but when I checked this checkbox for yes, was a property data report used in lieu of an inspection? If I click Y for yes, notice that this down here changes. And that's that little trick that I mentioned, the little trick that we're going to have up our sleeves. Basically, this quote unquote form, they don't want you to call it a form, this report is going to change based upon the answers and checkboxes that you check. Okay, so when you're pulling down little pull downs here and you're selecting something, we'll say traditional appraisal, things are going to change. If I select exterior appraisal, elsewhere in the report, things are going to change. So we're going to do traditional appraisal here. So now if I come over here to the sales contract section, this is my favorite place to kind of demo the way that this dynamic portion, this dynamic part of the form works. If I check yes here, some stuff fills in here. Check yes here, more stuff fills in. And I'm very proud, and man, I tell you what, our programmers are super proud of it as well. The way that they were able to get it so that it kind of shuffles in like that, it kind of just flips in. I love that. They love it too. It just adds a little pizzazz, you know? So if I check these check boxes here, no non-arm's length commentary. All right, so I'm just going to put some gibberish in here. We're just going to say, and I know I have a loud keyboard, I'm sorry. Now what you noticed here is that field actually expanded. And that's another thing that I love about the new UAD is what we call additional comments, additional comments, addenda, things like that. It doesn't matter whatever your software calls it. All of that goes away because it's not needed anymore, because all of these fields can dynamically resize. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take this and then I'm going to paste it some more, paste it some more. This field will just keep on growing, and I can put a whole 2-3 paragraphs in there if I want. And what it'll do is it'll just keep expanding this further and, splayed across 2 pages if it needs to. Now, you're probably not going to put that much information in there, but you can if you want to. And that applies everywhere in the report. And then if I come in here and just delete it, and it goes back to one single field. Now, the other thing I want to show you guys is coming over here to the sales comparables. Now, when I show you this, it's a little sluggish and laggy right now. And that's because what we're doing is we've kind of finished all of the building of the form, and we've all the presentation and the visual elements, and we're working on some of the back end stuff, the stuff that happens in the background that you don't see. One of those things that we're working on is optimization. And a lot of that is video optimization. So the cool thing about Appraise-It Pro is being so new, it's able to do things like use your graphics card. So if you have a nice graphics card, like maybe you're doing appraisals on a gaming rig and you like the game, it's going to use that graphics card to do things like storing extra information in the graphical RAM and being able to build these things out. And that's one of the things we're doing right now is we're optimizing for those people, and we're optimizing for people that are using off-the-shelf computers, laptops, whatever. So keep in mind that while it may look a little bit sluggish right now, that's not the final product. So if I come back over here, and right now I just have this one, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to close out of this. And I'm going to come over here to open, and I am going to open up one of our test reports that has data in it already. So if I come back over here to sales comparables, I don't have any photos in here right now, but you can kind of imagine that there are photos up here. Now, right now I've got the subject and I've got the 3 comparables. If I want, I can add additional comparables here. You can add as many as you want. and you'll just scroll on out here. And if you have, let's see, if we had maybe, I don't know, we'll say 7, 8, 9, and we'll put 10 comparables. So now I can see all 10 of my comparables side by side, and I can scroll down. Now, as I scroll down, what you might notice is, see, it kind of fills in here. This is part of the optimization that we're working on to make this go a lot quicker. So for right now, it kind of fills in, but by the time this gets released, this all will be almost instantaneous. But that's kind of where we are right now. We've finished all of the big work, and now we're just kind of working on some of the back-end stuff and some of the optimization. Remember, if you have any questions, just use the chat that's either over there on the right-hand side, or it's going to be down at the bottom. Be happy to answer any questions you have. You will also be able to use the link to this video to rewatch it at any time. And you can share it and send it to people, and they can see it as well. I'm also working on a promotional video for the new UAD. Hope to have that out in the next week or two. That will be more of a succinct kind of, here's what we got, in and out. You'll be able to share it, show it to people. Now, what we're hoping is that you guys who are on other software vendors, this is the time for you to look at what everybody else is doing, because you're going to have to relearn how to do things anyway. And so that's kind of a perfect time for, if you've been thinking about trying out other software, to do something like that. And I encourage you to go look at what a la mode's doing once they, show it, what ACI is doing, what Bradford's doing, what Freedom Appraise, whoever, see what they're doing. And one of the things that we offer is we offer 6 months free. So when you are maybe 6 months out from your end of your contract with a la mode or ACI, come talk to us, or just go to sfrep.com and click on the demo button up at the top of the webpage, download it, install it. And as part of when you first open it up, it's going to ask you some questions to kind of create an account for you. And boom, clock starts ticking. You've got it free and clear for 6 months. No strings attached. At the end of that 6 months, if you don't like it, you walk away. We don't do contracts either. Okay. So if you, down the road, you feel like maybe it's just not the right fit, we'll shake hands. You walk away. No harm, no foul. You pay month to month with us. Now, you can pay a year in advance if you want, and we might even give you a little bit of a price break if you do something like that, but it's not required. And as far as pricing is concerned, we go we do silver, gold, and platinum. For those of you moving over from a la mode, I recommend the platinum. The platinum is going to give you pretty much everything you're going to need. So all you can eat, pretty much everything you're going to need to be able to do an appraisal. You get all the bells and whistles. And it is $99 a month. And the way that we license our software is we license it to the individual appraiser, the individual signing appraiser. So if you have 2 appraisers and 5 people that help you type appraisals, or trainees, no charge for them. And you can install our software on as many computers as you want. And if you run it in a network, no extra charge for running it in a network. And a lot of people will ask, well, do you guys have cloud storage? We're not cloud storage experts. We're not security experts for cloud storage. So what we decided to do is we let you choose which cloud service you want to use, which commercial out there cloud service you want to use. Google, Microsoft, Dropbox, Box.net, whatever you would like to use, we fully support it. Through our tech support, we'll help you set it up. And if you have any problems with it, we'll help you out. We also fully support running our software on a Mac. So if you've always wanted to do your software on a Mac, you can do that with us. Now, it's still a Windows program. What you'll need to do is you'll need to install Parallels on your computer. Your local Best Buy or your local Apple store can help you and do that. But once that's installed, you'll be able to run Appraise-It Pro side by side with all of your other Macintosh apps. And the cool thing is if you're on one of the newer Macs that have the M-class processors, those are ARM-based processors. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. An ARM-based processor is simply a desktop version, a souped-up version of what you have in your phone or your tablet. Those are ARM processors. And the cool thing with ARM processors is they don't use a lot of electricity, and they still give you a whole lot of computing power. And for those of you on the Windows platform, ARM's coming. The cool thing is that Appraise-It Pro fully supports ARM processors. So whether you go out and you buy a new Windows laptop that has a Snapdragon processor in it, or if you are using it on a Mac, which has an M-class processor, M2, an M3, and M4, that's an ARM processor as well, Appraise-It Pro can run bare metal. What that means is we have direct access to the processor, so we're going to be snappy, we're going to run really well. Other software that is not fully compatible with ARM, it has to run in a virtualized environment, and that slows it down a lot. So we, through our tech support, fully support running in macOS. We're not going to say, hey, you're on your own. We'll fully support that. Don't worry. We also have tech support available 7 days a week. Now, it's not 24 hours a day because nobody called. We tried it. Nobody called at 3 in the morning, but we do have 7-day-a-week tech support as well. Let's see. Is there anything else that I want to show you? I mean, I guess I can't say this enough. By the way, we do have tabbed up here, so you may have noticed that. So if I open up the site and then I open up the dwellings page, we actually have tabbed browsing up here. You can actually grab these tabs and pull them out. And I have, you can't see my other monitors, obviously, but I have other monitors. I can just pull this over here onto my other monitor and then pull it back. So if you have multiple monitors, you could have multiple pages of the report visible and open at the same time. I can pop that back in just like I can a web browser. And I could come over here to File, and I can do New Window, and that will open up a whole new instance of Appraise-It Pro. And I can have a, UAD 3.6 open up and a new UAD, or the older UAD 2.6 open up, copy and paste stuff between them. You can also import from your old reports, and you still have access to all that old data. Katie says, which software vendor is close to being as good as SFREP software? Look, Katie, your check's in the mail. As far as, do you mean like as far as who's close to being as far along as we are? That would be ACI for sure. When I was in the demos at the ACT show in San Antonio for Freedom Appraise, they had nothing to show. They said they were going to, be done with it in 2 weeks. I don't know. I haven't seen anything from them, so I don't know if I don't know where they are in that. A la Mode seemed they had a lot of the back end, the engine working, but they had not put it into their software yet. So they did show us. To their credit, I love Joel. Joel's great. And the people at A la Mode are really nice, and they were super cool, and they, we're a competitor, and they let us see what they had. They're a big company. They're the 800 pound gorilla in the room. But they're gonna obviously have something ready, but at the moment they're not as far along as we are. ACI did show what they had. They are still not, I don't think, as far along as we are, but to their credit, they showed what they had. They put their cards on the table. Bradford gave a sneak peek during their demo, and we're good friends with them. They're great. They gave us a sneak peek, and then they gave a little bit more of a sneak peek during some of the presentations. If you guys don't go to these trade shows, you should really consider it. You get CE credit for it. It does cost, but it was cool to be in San Antonio. Unfortunately, we were doing it during the Final Four, so it was very crowded. But learned a ton. I did an all-day seminar on the new UAD, which was very helpful. A lot of it I knew, but it was nice to learn some new things on that. Coming up is going to be Valuation Expo in Las Vegas in September. I don't have the exact dates in front of me there, but we'll be there. We'll be doing demos again for that. For those of you in North and South Carolina, at the beginning of next month, the SCPAC and NCPAC, so North Carolina and South Carolina, they are going to be doing a show in Myrtle Beach. And we're going to be there, and I'm going to be doing a whole hour presentation on the new UAD there. So if you're a North Carolina or a South Carolina appraiser, I'm going to be driving down from Charlotte, staying in the hotel there. It's on the beach. It's on the Grand Strand. I love Myrtle Beach. I grew up here in Charlotte and went to the beach when I was a kid. It's going to be a fun time, and you can learn a lot about the new UAD there. For those of you who are in Ohio, we're going to be doing the Ohio Appraisers Group show at the Ohio State University in June. And then September is Valuation Expo and then Appraisal Summit. Now, Valuation Expo is at Caesar's Palace, which if you've never been to Caesar's Palace, it's an experience. You should do it. And then we're going to be doing Appraisal Summit, which is always in Las Vegas at the Planet Hollywood, which is also very nice. So definitely would love for you guys to come up. Oh, there's Melinda. SCPAC. Melinda, if you don't know, is she's the president of the Appraisal Institute, and she also, not Appraisal Institute, excuse me, National Association of Appraisers. And then she's also, I think, are you head of SCPAC as well? But SCPAC is going to be May 8th through 9th in Myrtle Beach. And then Appraisal Summit, as she said, September 27th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood. You should really go to these shows. They're a lot of fun. They always do really cool things, for you to do outside of the show. We did a really cool thing in San Antonio where we went and ate a bunch of real Texas food at I think it was like a wedding venue or like a wedding reception venue or just a venue. Amazing food, and it's great to network and talk to people. So I highly recommend them, and we will be demoing our Appraise-It Pro at all of them. Okay. A past president. Got you, Melinda. I'm sorry. If anybody has any other questions, make sure that you get them into the chat there. And then also make sure that you can send me any questions that you might have if you're watching this after the fact, or if you just aren't signed into YouTube. Training@sfrep.com. Training@sfrep.com. And if you want some more information or to get started with checking things out, you can email sales@sfrep.com, or you can also call us and talk to us on the phone the old-fashioned way, 800-644-4051, 800-644-4051. Also, I want you guys to get a piece of paper ready, okay? I don't put my personal business telephone number, I don't print it up on the screen because it will get on lists that way, but I'm going to give it to you so you can write it down. It's area code 828-919-9082. And you can both call me at that number or you can text me at that number as well. 828-919-9082. Be happy to talk to you about Appraise-It Pro and what we're doing for the new UAD. Answer any questions about new UAD that you have. Anything you got, I'd love to talk to you about it. Now, the other thing that I do want to let you guys know before we cut this loose is we're going to be doing another webinar back-to-back. Going to be doing it on Friday. So if you go to our website, sfrep.com, click on training. By the way, you can also just go to training.sfrep.com. So you can do either or. You can click on training. You come down here to the training calendar and you can see the other webinars that we have scheduled. Right now, if you mouse over this, I've got buying a new computer, buying new technology is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. And if you are not one of our customers, that doesn't matter. Come on into that webinar. I'm going to tell you about the different types of computers that are out there. So if you're in the market for a new computer, I'll answer any technical questions you have. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm a fiend when it comes to computers. I love computers, love talking about computers, love talking about technology. So if you got any questions about technology, even if you're not a customer of ours, feel free to come in and do that webinar. Join me there, 6 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. And if you come to this, you can kind of click on this and you'll see the link. There's the link right there. Okay, so I'd be happy to have all of you over, and we'll talk about technology, talk about what's going on in the world of technology, and what different computers there are out there. Whether it's laptops, desktops. I love laptops because they're as powerful as desktops nowadays, and I can show you and talk to you about how you can use a laptop as a desktop. That's really cool. The way that laptops are now. It's awesome. I love laptops. Any other questions? Let me know. But that's what we've got. You know, let me pull this back up here. I'll kind of show you as we part ways here. All of this stuff works. I can open up all of these different pages. These little purple boxes. This is where you can actually browse in images. So if I come down here to, do I have that in here? May not have it in here yet. It may not pop in, but like if I came over here to Sketch, I could add some information in here about Sketch. Now, all of our helper programs. So if I come up here to tools, things like Apex, our own Sketch-It, Image Manager, Comp Manager, Lender Database, Neighborhood Database, under services, market analysis, build facts, Profit.ai, Street Maps, Flood Maps, not Inspect a Lot. All of that is going to work with the new UAD. Now, Inspect a Lot. For those of you who are Bradford customers, you may recognize that we co-developed Inspect a Lot with them, and we use it as our mobile app. But Inspect a Lot is not going to be updated for the new UAD. So what we are launching is Apex Portal. Cool thing about Apex Portal is it works on any platform, whether it's Android, phone, tablet, iPad, iPhone, laptop, desktop, doesn't matter. As long as it's got a web browser on it, it probably would work on an Amazon Echo. It will work on anything. And it's a great sketching solution. And oh boy, you know what? I'm on an NDA. I can't say a lot. We're going to cut to a different topic. Not related to that at all. We are going to have a fully fleshed out mobile application ready for September that will work with the new UAD. So you'll be able to do sketching. You'll be able to do data collection. We will have scan to sketch. So if you are using an iPhone, if it's a Pro iPhone, this is an iPhone Pro, 16 Pro. Where is it? That little circle right there. That's a LiDAR. That's a LiDAR transmitter and receiver. LiDAR, think of it, it's light ranging and detection. So think of it like light-based or laser-based radar. So police use it to catch you speeding, but we can actually use that on both the iPhone Pro and Pro Max. I think it's the iPhone 12 and newer, Pro and Pro Max, and then also on the iPad Pro, both the 11-inch and the 12-inch. They also have LiDAR sensors. If you are on those platforms, you'll be able to do scan to sketch. And if you don't know what scan to sketch is, basically you can stand in the middle of a room and then turn around in a 360 degree, and you'll be able to scan the entire room. You do have to point to where like the corners are so it knows, but then it'll basically do the sketch for you because it knows where it is in space, and then it can do the measurements for you and everything. It's really cool. For those of you who are on Android, I'm sorry. Android, there are no Android devices out there as far as I know that have LiDAR. I think Samsung tried it at some point, but then abandoned it. So right now it's only on iOS, but if it's available down the road, I'm sure we'll support it. Let's see. Melinda asks, how far along are you with the iPad inspection tool with 3.6? Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. It's very far along. It's to the point where we had it at Axe. It was demoed to us. So the folks that are working on it went into the dining room and used the scan to sketch and got it all, did a sketch by just standing in the middle of the room and turning around and popping a little dot down where all the corners were. And then the inspection tool, the inspection app, we had that demoed to us as well. So that'll be ready by the time September rolls around, because September is the date when the lenders and the AMCs are going to start issuing the new UAD orders. But there will be an overlap until next year. So there'll be an overlap. Is it November? I think it's November of 2026. I'll have to look it up. I'm blanking right now. But there's going to be like a 1-year overlap there or so. So it's important that you guys get ready for it. And there are also some software vendors who said at Axe that they are not going to be ready with all of the different form report types. We will be. We will have all the report types ready to go by September. We'll be ready. any other? Yeah, Melinda confirmed it is November. I thought that was sitting in the back of my head, and I was pretty sure that was correct. Any other questions? Get them in. Otherwise, feel free to email me once again, training@sfrep.com. I'm the communications director for the company, so I will answer any questions that you have. I love talking to customers. I love talking to non-customers. I'll talk your ear off. We can talk about whatever you want when it relates to appraising. If I don't know the answer, I know someone who does, and I will get you an answer. And let me give you my number one more time, because I think I only gave it once and I kind of breezed right over it. Area code 828-919-9082. If you call me, I may not answer. I'm busy a lot. And if you call me after hours, I may not answer. But if you text me after hours, there's a good chance I'll answer you back. All right? Especially and even on weekends. So 828-919-9082. I'd love to talk to you. And then Matt@sfrep.com, MATT, or training@sfrep.com. They both get to me. And once again, if you do want to talk to our sales@sfrep.com, or simply 800-644-4051. And we are open until, the tech support is open until 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 days a week. Well, Monday through Friday. I don't have the weekend hours in front of me, but it's during the day, during the weekends as well. All right. Okay. Well, it's been my pleasure to talk to you guys. I love getting to talk to you guys. We had a good turnout. Feel free to use this link to rewatch this webinar or to share it out to somebody else. There's a little bit of that kind of lead in at the beginning. I'm going to cut that off, so you'll be able to share this to people, and they'll be able to start watching it immediately. And hey, that's what we got, and we're going to be ready. And I love showing it off. I'm super proud of what we have, and all I ask is go to the other software vendors, ask them what they're doing, see what they'll show you. And now's the time to make the decision on who you want to be with. We're a small company. We're independent. We're not owned by some big conglomerate. Being a small company, we're based in Louisiana. We're based in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But because of COVID, we all went remote, and most of our operations are in the upstate of South Carolina and Western North Carolina. And then there's a little of me over here in Charlotte in the middle part of the state. But most of it's in Western North Carolina and in the upstate of South Carolina. So we've got that Southern hospitality. We'll be happy to talk to you. And we're an open book. We'll show you what we got. We always will. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you stopping by and giving me a little bit of your time. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of your evening or afternoon, as the case may be, if you're on the West Coast. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Once again, if you want to talk to me, text me 828-919-9082. I'll be happy to talk to you. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye.